Hey, hey, hey. Hey, okay. Out to the pay, for the grass is always greener. I don't do no labels, I call it how I see it. Okay, out to the pay, for the grass is always greener. I don't do no labels, I call it how I see it.
You still at UB?
Yeah, I graduate in the spring.
Nice.
Can't wait.
Wait, what did you study?
Business and entrepreneurship concentration.
Really?
I was finance, and then I don't even know why I was finance.
they brought up that with the Microsoft Excel and then the
Oh,
spreadsheets.
they still make you do that no matter what. Like
Okay.
they still make you do so much extra stuff I'll never need again. But like, I talked to my advisor like one time, and she was like, "Why are you?" I really can't tell you. I was like, I really can't tell you. And she was like, "We have like one of the best entrepreneurship programs. And
Really?
like you're trying to be like you're an entrepreneur." And I was like, "Yeah, it's actually pretty dope. Like I get to
Yeah, I didn't even know they had that.
I get to like
Yeah.
present LEALE, like is my project for one of my classes. Like the end of the class, I have to pitch it. So it's like building my business and my brand and like actually putting like strategy behind it. So it's dope, but
That's tough.
you wouldn't think, right? Like you wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
The only way I thought I was gonna be able to do music if I was in like some arts program, but it's cool. I get to integrate both of them and learn a little bit. But.
No, that's fire.
Yeah, that's tough.
When I was in school, we had like lesson plans, but I would just always incorporate music
Right.
for my teaching and shit. And my teacher loved it because math is considered boring.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the easiest way to make math interesting is mix it with music.
Right. I would always do that, like, just bring it in, like, even when it wasn't like you're supposed to be pitching a business, but somehow incorporating like what you do in music or like your knowledge about it, or like somehow you could incorporate it, just make it enjoyable.
Yeah.
Because it's not always.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Nah. Definitely ready. Like, it was a dope experience, but it's a bigger and better thing. So.
No grad school. I feel you.
Yeah, I'm getting out early, and I'm super lucky and blessed that way, and I'm gonna take it while I got it.
What, semester earlier, year early?
Year early.
Mm.
Yeah.
You 21?
20.
20?
But I'll get my bachelor's. I just got my real estate license, so
Oh shit.
that's what I've been,
No, yeah, nah.
trying to build it up so that when I graduate, I've already got like a steady foundation for myself. Because right now, like, I don't have too much, like, I don't got too much responsibilities holding me back as far as like bills and kids and stuff like that. So I'm lucky that way. So I just want to like build a solid foundation, so when I graduate, I can like with the music, take that. You need money to make money.
Absolutely.
And I need to
That's
start making money to
100%
invest in myself. And real estate and music can coincide with each other. Like, really, my networks get to kind of melt together, and like they really benefit one another more than you would think, right?
Yeah.
It's a hustler's world. Like, it's the same thing. Everyone's their own boss in that industry too.
Facts.
And it's all about who you know. Same thing with music.
Nah,
so,
real.
but it's been good. Yeah, like
Now, do you think they would take you seriously as a musician? Like, if you're a realtor? Like, say you're like,
people
in the
still
real
don't
estate
always take
world.
me seriously as a musician. Before I did real estate, you know what I mean? So I like, it's not going to be like the first thing I like present to somebody, but I think it'd be super cool. Like, I'm just getting started in the business, right? Like, I'm just starting to pick up like my first couple deals, sort of, kind of. And it's definitely like, I'm not going to just come out and talk about, me doing music. It's like, I got to build that rapport first, but just like showing what I can do in business. And then it's just like, hey, and also like, rap. Like, also I do this, and then vice versa, right? Like, in the music world, like, a lot of people, the industries are actually like really tight, especially here in Buffalo. That's one thing I've learned, just being very involved in like different events and with different artists and promoters. A lot of them do real estate too. Like, they either invest or are LOs or like, are agents, which I didn't know until I started like studying real estate. And I was like, oh, you do real estate too? Like, 'cause I'm trying to connect. So like, I'll see like a manager or a promoter or something post something about listing a house. I'm like, oh. So it's cool because I've already made those connections, so I can just kind of.
Yeah, because you got to find the spaces. Like one of the issues that we've had in Buffalo in the beginning was finding a space to doing the event. So it's like, boom, you spend all this time, let's say you're a manager or promoter looking for a place to hold an event. You're looking at all these little dope little spots that's in the cut, you know what I'm saying? These buildings, warehouses, however so be it. And you have to like, oh, sure, like, this is actually nice. I can get an event here, then sell it, Breeze have to promote it. Like,
yeah, it's facts. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
like the way
like,
that they could leverage that. That's
fact,
true.
Facts.
Yeah, but again, like, you know, they know all those people. They're getting all these people to these events. That's the same thing with real estate. The more people you know and talk to about it, like, the more successful you're going to be.
Oh, facts. When you said that, it made me think of Rick Ross. And like when he bought that mansion, he said he barely sleeps there. He's using it as a real estate asset.
Coming to America there.
Coming
to America.
Yeah, that's
movies,
the goal.
events. Like I got a mansion that's paying for itself. And I feel like that's the mindset that gets missed when it comes to like art and music and just wealth. Like, yo, you buy something to make it an asset so it can make you money. So you're just not paying a mortgage. You're not just paying rent or whatever.
Let it pay for itself.
Yeah.
And if you're smart with it, like, that's really where I'm trying to get. Like, it's cool. I'm super glad I'm here now. Like, I know I've been trying to be on this podcast for a while. Like, we've been talking and stuff. But I've been like going through a really dope growth phase, like in a lot of different ways. And I think it's super cool, like where I'm at now. Cause it's definitely, you know, I'm not like creating as much, like I'm not out there as far as music. Like I've really just been in the back building, right? But that's kind of where the business aspect and the real estate stuff comes in, is because all these things and these tools I'm trying to build for myself now is so I can leverage them to make myself successful with music. Cause I need, you know, something that allows me to still do me and still be me, but be sustainable so I can start. Because if I start putting money behind, you know, music and the plans that I have built up, like I know I can take it like far, right? And with real estate, you can leverage where you're at too.
Literally.
Right. Like if we, you know, I can like build my rapport enough and start to, you know, gain some traction in real estate. Like, you know, I want to start doing stuff in Atlanta. I want to start doing stuff in LA. Why don't I just get a property, Airbnb it? Why don't I get a property, like leverage it? You know what I mean? So stuff like that, I'm really trying to learn. I am super new, but like that's the goal, right?
No, that's a great way to enter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rather than just trying to, I don't say just figuring it out, because everybody's figuring it out in some fashion.
It's a lot of,
But it's like, yo, coming to the mindset like, no, I'm gonna make this work for me. I'm not just out here hitting the pavement, just grinding. That's how people get burnt out.
Right.
Yeah. Wasn't you ever looking at like cryptocurrencies and stuff like that?
A little. So like that's kind of when we were talking about me going into finance, my dad like always was like talking to me about stocks and crypto. And I think it was because I was just defiant in high school. And like the more he told me, the less I wanted to do it. Like it was just so unattractive. And now like it's more relevant to my life because I'm older. But like he was always telling me like, you're going to want to know about this. You're going to want to know, like you should go for finance. And I think that's what influenced me really. But I'm not super educated on it. No, but like definitely that's not a bad thing to add to your folder. Like
I was watching a video on dude named Chicago Bitcoin Bully. And he was showing a real estate. It was like a real estate markets. Like literally, you could pick a city, and the real estate, the housing value is gonna like basically like almost like an ETF. Like so, basically, it's like the group of houses and the wealth of this city is put in a little bundle, and you can buy it like a stock, or like buy it or as a crypto, and you can trade against it and bet whether the house market value is going to go down or up in this certain city or this country.
That's interesting.
And stuff like that. And it's something you can't do that with traditional finance.
Yeah, real estate, I feel like that would be like, from what I've learned so far, that would be a little like risky, a little scary. Like the market is so weird with real estate. Like I'm learning so much.
What is the market like right now? I heard it isn't the best.
It's exactly like that's the biggest thing for an agent, right? Like everybody in the public, like that's all they talk about on the news is how like scary and how terrifying it is. So as like a real estate agent, you're just trying to figure out how to like make people less scared, right? And what I found, like, yeah, the interest rates are high. So like people that, you know, might want to move to a new home that have 2% interest on their home right now, like they're not going to want to, you know, move and pay, like, even if they want to move, right? So it's like more of a game of fear, but like really, like me, Carney, like my team and like what I'm learning at Metro Roberts and like being an agent is just like finding opportunity where you know, other people see downfall, because like that's where, you know, you can capitalize. Cause like right now is like there is a lot of opportunity to, you know, utilize, I don't want to say utilize the fear, but like, you know, take your knowledge and like, you know, capitalize in areas that other people might not have the same amount of knowledge. And I don't want to speak like I'm an expert, because I am like brand new.
Yeah.
I did just pass my exam like a couple weeks ago, but I'm like super deep in it, and I've been like trying to learn before I pass. So it's like,
Nah, that's a fact. What they say is blood in the streets, buy property. There they say that's how it go. Shit. Well, what's the name? The reason I tapped into crypto, because one of our sponsor, Guap Coin. It's cryptocurrency for the culture. You know what I'm saying? It's a black-owned blockchain, and it's something dope. And they push education and just understanding not just what cryptocurrency is, not just trying to make your money. It's like, understand what this technology can do, and then see if this is something you want to be a part of. And we'll see in the upcoming days. Like I made a good amount of money in the past couple of weeks of Bitcoin pumping and all that stuff, and it's just like we've been talking about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I hope
no plays in the group chat, did he?
No, because this is stuff I just been holding. I just been holding and buying here. I ain't holding information. I said, I said over here, buy it on Cash App, buy it here. You got to really finesse it, because a lot of the time in the United States, it's not easily tradable. You got to, you know what I mean? You got to find the loopholes, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Beyond me.
Man,
I'm like,
COVID had me like, I was literally in the house like, how can I make money sitting in this house?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think everybody was kind of figuring it out. But yeah.
I was treating it like a shift of 8 hours a day, reading, studying, listening. I was on it.
So do you want to introduce our guests? We about 15 minutes.
I was gonna let you introduce the podcast, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out to our sponsor, Guap Coin. Shout out to everybody that's been subscribing on YouTube, liking on Instagram, sharing on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all that. Appreciate y'all as always.
For sure. We sitting here with an artist who's an intelligent young lady, as smart as she is beautiful, you know what I mean? Like, we spoke with her at the buffet, and I saw her passion for like her craft and how serious like she was about it, and she had a mean support system with her too. And I was like, yeah, she'll be around. She'll be around. And we said it then. We said, was that 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago, it's like, yeah, we gotta sit down and do this full one. So I'm glad we were able to make it happen.
For sure.
LEALE. How are you?
I'm good. I appreciate you guys having me, for real. Like I said, like, it's a super dope time like that you caught me in. I think, I'm in a really cool headspace right now with music. I'm excited to talk with y'all, and thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Word. So we kind of like to start from the beginning. You're from Buffalo, Olean?
Yeah, Olean.
Okay.
Yep.
Olean. So for people who've never been to Olean, it's probably like 45 minutes outside of Buffalo?
It's like an hour. Yeah, a little bit more. It depends how fast you drive.
Yeah. What's it like out there?
Man, like, describing Olean, like, I always get such mixed emotions, right? Like, because talking about my music career, and that's my hometown. So it's like, I got a lot of mixed feelings about it. It's where I grew up. It's small. Everybody knows everybody, which, brings a lot of love. But chasing a career path that I was trying to pursue also brings a lot of, pushback, which, I think I've got to really strive to turn it into love over the years, which I think is a big blessing. And I've got to see kind of that transition, which is super cool. But yeah, Olean is a super small town. It is filled with a lot of love. And, it raised me. It's got all my family there. But it's definitely, I reached a point when I knew music was what I wanted to do, that like I couldn't stay there and be successful. And like, that is just like, that's the name of the game. And like, just like Buffalo, like if I really want to make it in rap, you can't just sit here in Buffalo. Like you gotta go to different cities. You gotta get your name out there. But for me, like first going to college, like I was applying everywhere so far, because I just, I didn't even see really the opportunity right in front of me. And like coming to Buffalo is one of the biggest blessings, I think for my journey and like God's timing as far as, where I'm at. But I was really trying to go. I was really trying to go somewhere warm and watch
where else were you
good
applying
football.
to?
I got into LSU, FSU, Q's.
It was just too expensive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
LSU,
realistically,
my dream school, for sure.
money was just like out of state tuition. And I was like top of my class, and I still didn't really get a lot of scholarship help. And so it just really wasn't smart. And I started to think, music did start to roll for me, and Buffalo started to become a little bit of a hot spot because I was doing some Little Bills raps and stuff. So I was like, I do have a good rep, and like, what if I just go there and just build? And I had some pushback from my family for a little bit because they're like, what are you even going to college for? Like, you are, like, because I would just talk about coming here and, like, just pushing my rap career. Like, everyone's going to know about LEALE because, like, back home, like, going into my music career, everyone was just, like, confused because I was just, small town girl, athlete, student.
Like, your family was confused, or just the people in town in general?
Everybody, yeah. Young little white girl starts rapping, and everyone's just like, "What's going on?" Right? And I think it was like people thought it was cute at first, but when I really started to take it serious, people were just kind of like, and I got a little bit of hate, a little bit of love, but all with good purpose. But I really came to Buffalo like my freshman year. I like to say it was like one of my I hustled the most, I grinded the most. But now being where I'm at right now, like maturity-wise and things like that too, like I definitely wasn't, but I was hustling. Like I was out every weekend, but I was making sure everybody knew that I rapped. I'm running up to the DJs. I'm like, yo, like plugging myself and stuff like that. So I was doing the footwork, but yeah, that was kind of how it started with me getting here as far as.
So being from Olean, it's super small town, outskirts, what possessed the young LEALE to be like, yo, I want to fucking rap.
And I want to spit bars too.
not no sugarcoat shit. Like, no, I'm really going to rap. Like, you're going to hear every word I'm saying. Like,
I would like love to say it was intentional, but it really wasn't. Like, so I was like young. I was 16, and I was like I was younger. I was like 14 when I first started to have like this kind of knack for, it was more poetry, right, as it started. I was going through like a weird phase as a young kid, lost my grandpa. He was a really big part of my life. And it was just, that age, that phase where it's like, I didn't really know how to explain how I felt. Like I just was my own, trying to figure myself out. And like, for some reason, like rhyming how I felt, like on paper, like I had this little binder and like I never told anybody about it. And, then hip hop started to influence me more. I want to say like my friends, like my brothers, like they influenced hip hop into my life, but it was a lot of me just figuring it out on my own. Like I didn't have a lot of like big hip hop influences in my life, like growing up where I did and stuff like that. But like it was for the love of hip hop, but I think it was more for the love of how it made me feel. Like I started to put these poems to these beats, and I was like, wait, are you like rapping right now? I was like, hold on. And like, so I would just take videos of myself like in the bathroom or something. And I didn't share it with anybody for a long time. And then one time I was like, yo, mom, can you like leave your car on? Like, I just go inside, like just leave your car on, I'll be inside. So I like got in the driver's seat and like plugged my phone in the aux, and I recorded myself like rapping one of those poems. And I think I sent it, like I was so scared to like tell people I did this. I sent it to like everyone I knew. I was like, I kind of want to post this on like TikTok. And they're like, oh my God, like what? Oh my God, I didn't know you could do that. And I'm like, and I did it, and it got like 90,000 views. And I was like, maybe I should keep doing it. So then I did.
The first one you posted?
Yeah. It like started, wow. It started more in like 2030. Right. And then as I kept posting, it was growing too. Like, I don't even know what it's at right now, but it's probably, I don't even like be on TikTok as much as I should anymore. But that was kind of the start of like sharing the music. Right. So influences was more just like an internal thing. And it just like I said, I would love to say it was intentional. Like, I was like, I want to be the greatest rapper ever, like the next female. And then I started to figure out my identity and like who I want to be and what I want to stand for. Cause I was like, damn, like my voice has power. Like there's this many people watching, and like I've got kids like way younger than me, like older people just saying like that like hit me, like I can relate to that, like that made me feel like good.
That's
so feeling. I was like, that was what it was that was really like push me. And I was like, so what I went through and what I'm feeling can like help impact others for good. And then I was like, yeah, now I want to be the voice, like now I got it. So that's like.
So that feeling that you first had when you was like writing your poems over beats and you had your first song pretty much.
Yeah.
What was the first hip hop song that gave you that similar feeling?
Big Sean, One Man Could Change the World.
It's a good
I
song.
know he was like one of the first artists I really discovered on my own, right? And I don't even know if he was like coming up. I don't even know when Dark Paradise dropped. Like I can't
Like,
correlate the years, but
2015, I think.
yeah. So
2015?
Dark Skies Paradise, yeah.
so I was 12. So that probably makes sense.
She was 12 in 2015.
That's so crazy. Like, and that's why it's so interesting because it's like that was like your introduction to like hip hop.
Right. So yeah. So like I just distinctively remember that song. Like I could listen to that on repeat. Like because I feel like that song kind of embodied, and he's that type of rapper too, very intellectual and conscious and like telling a story, and he's that type of individual too. I love like his podcast and stuff like that about, self-development, just like his mindset and using his music and his words, and like he knows the power they hold. Like he's always known the power they hold. So that's probably, that's the first song. That's like what you asked me that question. That's
No, that's so fun because I'm like, you saying you were 12. It's like, I remember being at this concert at UB.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what's it.
Like
yeah,
that same year?
Yeah, that's like 12.
And 12's when I first started kind of writing the poems. But like, that was when I lost my grandpa. But that was just like the hobby thing. And then like 2 years later, you guys know 10 Toes
That's probably
Down.
why that song resonated with you so much. Because he has like a verse in there where he's talking about like his grandma and how much his grandma meant to him.
Yeah, like the
so it probably
voicemail in the
resonated
back.
with you because
Yeah.
you just lost your grandpa too.
That's fire though.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, I remember being a senior. He's at UB, maybe Springfest, fall, somewhere like that.
Yeah, I think about who they be trying to get for Fall Fest and stuff
Man,
now, and I'm like,
it used to
have,
be
like,
lit.
I know.
It used to-
Everybody was here,
it
and
was
I was
Big
like, couldn't I have
Sean.
been a little bit older? Like,
What was it? Big Sean, Nas, and Damian Marley.
Oh, shit.
And then I think they closed with Wiz. This is Cabin Fever Wiz. Like, easily, hands down, one of the best concerts.
yeah, they didn't even have it this year. Not to get too off topic.
For real?
There was like everyone's like, give us our activity feedback, and now they're trying to do Spring Fest.
Why didn't they have it? What was the reason?
I have no idea. I have no
It
idea.
was shorter than a
Which one?
midget.
Buff State will always have good performers too.
I've had one ever. It's okay. I use that as motivation.
One Springfest?
One Spring because COVID. And
Oh,
then they had
COVID, yeah.
I saw PNB before he passed, like the year before, and then they had PNB City Girls and Polo G.
Okay.
That's a good lineup.
Yeah.
That's solid.
so-
That's solid. Nah, that's dope. So, boom, you leave Olean, you go to UB, and you're, you know what I'm saying, you was outside, you was hitting the DJs,
Yeah,
trying to make
I
sure.
finally got to like break out of my shell. Like I didn't feel confined to the identity that I felt like people wanted me to have back home.
Yeah.
And
Is your birth name Leale?
no, it's Haley.
Okay.
Haley is my birth name. So also that was a whole nother thing, right? Everyone's like, what, you're calling yourself this, that, and the third, and then everyone thinks I'm trying to be like Hannah Montana out here, like two different people. I'm like, y'all don't get it. Clearly, y'all don't get it. Like, I'm the same person. For real, though. Like, they think I'm two different people, and it's just like, clearly you guys don't get it. So it was super cool, like, just coming here and getting to be myself, like, and because I'm, like, the same true person, like, tried and true. Like, that's just who I am, and yeah, I had a lot of fun freshman year, and it definitely put me in a lot of position to get opportunities. Like both love, like I was hustling like open mics and stuff. Like so, I was on the ground. But as far as it wasn't my time. You know how like people always like, yeah, of course I want to blow up, but like I'm trusting the time, and like that wasn't the right time. Like yeah, it was like I was sitting there dropping music. Like when am I gonna pop? Like when am I gonna pop? Like I'm doing these shows now. Like when is it gonna happen? And it's like. I can see myself now and like, but like wish I could tell her like 2 years ago, like just wait. And I know I'm still waiting to get there, but like it feels right now. You know what I mean? And I don't feel like that urgency. Like I just know when it's gonna come.
Yeah, like we're big on like timing, the divine timing, and it's like it lines up every time.
Yeah.
What was the first place you performed at when you got to Buffalo?
So the first opportunity presented was an open mic night at the Candle Cafe, New York Candle Cafe. You ever heard of it?
I've heard of it. I never been there.
Yeah, so I don't even remember how I had found them. I think somebody like reposted an open mic night. And I was like, yo, should I go? Like, should I do it? I've never rapped in front of people like that before. So I was like, I went, and then actually this is a pretty cool story. So like that was my first performance. It was the same night I was dropping like Motto, which was like one of my more like deeper tracks to me, more important tracks to me. The night I dropped it, I performed the open mic night. We pull up to the open mic night, and I got the email from Boflove about performing for them, like as I was pulling up. And it just like kind of felt right. Like it was just crazy because I went from like never touching a stage, and they wanted me to come out and perform that summer. And that was in March. So it was the March of my freshman year. It was my first time I ever like picked up a mic in front of people. And yeah, it was dope.
No, that's hard. What's the name, like with UB, being at UB, did you ever like schedule an event there to try to get to?
Yeah, so like my freshman year, I was kind of defiant to the fact of the opportunities that the school could present to me with music. I kind of was like, I can't keep doing good in school and trying to do this music stuff. Like I want to be recording, like I want to be doing this. And like the next year I kind of took a step back and like took a different mindset about it. I was like, all right, you can sit here and complain about what UB's not going to do for your music career, or you can work your ass off, get this degree, and find the opportunity. Like there's opportunity everywhere you look. So I started connecting with the right people, got involved with like the entrepreneurs, because like that's, you know, what I was pushing, and everyone loved it. So I did get a couple opportunities. I did Bulls Launch, which is like a pitch competition in SU. That was pretty dope. And then I did Panache, which is like their big entrepreneur. I performed at Center for the Arts, like the big stage. That was super cool. Definitely a little bit of like a not type of crowd that was like expecting a hip hop performance, but like just the opportunity. So that's kind of like the mindset I've been trying to take, like with being at UB, because there's a lot of opportunity, and I had like for a while I looked at it all wrong. But there's
that schools always let you build that network and just like and really understanding like people come from everywhere.
Right.
So then you build those bridges.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I feel like that's what college really ends up being for, is networking.
Everybody, like it has
It
nothing
just took me a
to do
minute
with
to
the
realize
books.
that,
Yeah,
like I always thought it was outside of school. Like I gotta be, you know, at all the events, doing all this other extra stuff. I didn't realize what was right in front of me, you know?
Nah, and it's, even if you're there for like a semester, like you meet people that you'll remember for the rest of your life.
Right.
Like I think I went to Cleveland. I went to Cleveland earlier this year. Haven't seen the dude I knew out there in like 10 years. Like linked up, had a great time, like building networking. Now I'm networking out there in Cleveland, able to find, oh yeah, yo, my boy runs this venue, da 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 da. Like
Yeah, you get those
simple as
opportunities,
that.
they present you later.
Simple as that, and you never would have thought.
Right.
But, during that time, were you thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna grind, do this myself, or were you like, I need people around me to help me manage
With
this?
music? So I was still in touch with my people back home. So like I kind of built my team, like my foundation back home. It was ever evolving, ever changing. We were all kind of in our own paths, but you know, I was looking for opportunities to connect with as many individuals, but I was also very safeguarded with my music because I was really young and dumb at times, and like it's a very vulnerable situation as a female in hip hop. Like I was in a lot of rooms with like I met Benny freshman year, like I met like a lot of the bigger artists in Buffalo. And I just always tried to, you know, like no matter who I met or where I go, like kept that, you know, business mindset around me, and like, you know, just protecting myself because I didn't want to get caught in something that I couldn't reverse. Like, because I wasn't super knowledgeable on, you know, who could really help me. Like I was meeting a lot of dope people, but I was like, everybody's going to say they could help me or like do this for me. But it's like, who really like cares? Like who really actually believes in what I'm doing and really wants to help me? Because it's easy to look at it as an exciting light, because it is, but I just didn't want to get like blindsided by the fact that, all right, not everybody is, you know.
Yeah, a lot of people fall for the light show. We like to call it the light show, and it's so easy to get caught up. Like I think that's why Donnie always wears the shades.
Number one reason, the light show.
Nah, for real. So how do you keep a level head? Or I can't say how do you keep it. What allowed you to like keep a level head when it came to now you're in these rooms around these people that you've kind of like been like striving to do? Like what keeps you balanced?
I'm supposed to be there. Like,
Mm.
I'm in the room because God put me there. So it's
Fact.
like, don't overthink nothing. You know, what happens gonna happen, and what doesn't isn't. But there's a reason you're in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we talk about timing, why everything worked out the way it is, and like, I was supposed to be in the room. So like, that's kind of what I've always done, right? And it also helps me not set expectations, because that's the other thing, right? Is like, you start setting expectations with people and situations and scenarios, and you just go, I'm not gonna say you always get let down. Like, I don't like when people say like, you set expectations, you're always gonna get let down, but it's like, you're never gonna be fully pleased. Like, you're never gonna be happy with the outcome. So it's like, you know, you just gotta like know you. If you know you, and you can go into any situation and come out, you know, feeling okay and like knowing where to go from there. So that's kind of like how I approached it, right? I was in rooms with like a lot of bigger people. And yeah, it was exciting. Like, I was telling my family back home about a lot of different things, and like, it was cool, but also, like I said, like I was supposed to be there. So
Nah, yeah, you put in the work to get to that position. So, nah, you, rightfully so.
Yeah.
I feel
So
like.
what was
Go ahead.
So what was like the first song that like got you traction and got you noticed? Like outside of the first video you said you posted, like actual song.
So I wanted, like, truthfully, it wasn't like, it was my videos for the Bills. It wasn't even a song. And then when I released music, people flocked, because they're like, people like were really rocking with me before I even had a song on any platform. It was when I first started getting rapping, right, my dad like was like, you should just like do a song about the Bills. I was like, you want me to rap about the Bills? Like, I thought about it, and then I was like, you know, maybe like it would be dope. Like, I don't want to make it corny, but I was like, maybe I could do something. So I did it, and people like loved it. And I think like Jordan Poyer commented, and then I was like, oh my God. Like, and then the next year.
So this was your freshman year or before you got the UB?
I was in high school. Yeah.
So senior year of high school?
I was like a sophomore.
What?
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was young when the first one I posted. It was the same year I first started posting the raps. So then the next year I was like, well, I should do it again, because like people loved it. Like, it kind of blew up on Twitter and stuff. And I was like, I should do it again. So I did one when we hit the playoffs. And that bitch went crazy. I was on channel 4, channel 2. Like, it was just wild. And I got a lot of like connections with players and stuff now from that. And like, which is super cool. And that's kind of why leading into actually dropping a song for the Bills, like the next year, I was like, all right, you blew up once, like you got all this traction. People like when you rap about the Bills. I was like, make something that they can keep listening to, and it's gonna keep feeding you, right? So I came out with the Come Here for Blood anthem, and you know, this year I'm finally getting into like, I'm more knowledgeable, so I'm trying to monetize off that. It's my most streamed song. It's my Bills anthem, because I get put on like playlists and stuff, like Bills, like Mafia playlists and stuff. So, and like I said, like I really haven't released a lot of music. Like, I've got so much in the tuck, and it's frustrating at times, because like I hate, you know, coming to like these new shows and these new podcasts and like not having too many new releases to talk about. But like we said about timing and like knowing, you know, when is right. But shit, I've done a lot for somebody that hasn't really dropped in a year. Like, I did a whole year of shows. I dropped the EP in the summer, and then did shows in multiple different states for a whole year, and then like came in off of, you know, a drop from a year ago. So, but yeah, that's kind of like the compound effect. Like, that was the first thing that, to like answer your question, that was like the first thing, I guess, that, you know, blew up in a sense. And then when I did drop my first track, which was with DJ Payne 1, produced by him, and like people really were rocking with it, just because like I think they were excited that I just dropped a real song they can listen to all the time, and like, you know, because I just had videos before that. You know
Got you.
Now, are you scared you might just be known for the girls that just like makes the song about the Bills, or just has the Bills anthem every year, and it might like become gimmicky to some people?
Yeah. So that was like my biggest thing, right? Like, after Coming for Blood, like getting new music out, because Coming for Blood was like my second real song I ever released. So that's, or maybe it was, yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was my second or third. So I only had a couple songs out when I released it. Yeah, for sure. Like, I started to take like the music really seriously, but I didn't want to pass up that opportunity, but I wanted to prove like I can do more than just, you know, rap about the bills. Cause I definitely feared that. Like don't get me wrong, I took it and ran with it. Like I took all the traction I could get. Like my fan base got really wide, like the demographic because of it. Like people that don't even like hip hop, like probably not like in their day to day, like was listening. So yeah, for a little bit, and then I was like now, no, like the past year, because like we're saying, like I know what I bring to the table, and like if that's gonna be my hot song for now, like let it be my hot song for now, you know, like let me push it. Like it's a tight knit community out here, like I should capitalize. But yeah, for a little bit I was like, I don't want to be just the Bills rap girl, like because people did know me for that before, like they knew me for anything else. So that was definitely, yeah.
No, I get that. No, that makes a lot of sense because I've seen other rappers who got stuck in the Bills rapper kind of category.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to talk about, just like your relationship, kind of like with hip hop. You're young, so like have you taken the time out to like kind of like study the history of hip hop and like the craft and all that?
Yeah, like so for me, like it's an interesting relationship, right? Like being young. I wasn't always, like I said, I was never surrounded by it, right? So it is only really when I take the time to do it. Like now my circle now, I'm like exposed to, you know, the history and the older hip hop like scene, and it does influence me a lot. Like that is kind of my style, right? Like the conscious, like, you know, more straightforward storytelling bars, like that is who I am. Like I would be lying if I say like I touch up on it enough, because like you said, like I wasn't growing up off of like a lot of the Nas albums that I love to listen to, so it's not like my second nature, but it is like a big influence and a big thing that impacts my artistry. But it definitely was a lot to like, I definitely felt like a fool for a little bit, like when I first started getting in the studio, and like I just was like, you know, the older stuff, even the stuff that I knew that was old to me was new to the people I'm around in music. So you know what I mean? But yeah, like I'm super influenced by like Nas. I just started like, this was literally just like last week, like diving into Rhapsody a little bit. Like I've like listened to her here and there, but like she just dropped a new song with Hit Boy.
Yeah, that ain't tough.
And it's just
Astro,
hard. And then I just started like diving into her more, because like I said, like that's my alley kind of. And but yeah, it's definitely all me like trying to
figure it out.
stay in touch.
It's good that you took the time to like go back and study though, because it shows that you care.
Well, yeah.
And it shows that you actually like want to develop and like perfect your craft.
Right, yeah, because I mean, it's like the root of it all, right? It's no matter what you do, it's like, and to be honest, I'm just really not inspired by a lot of the new music today. Like I'm really not. Like
Same.
I really don't listen to a lot of new music. Like every once in a while, like I know I just said I listened to a new release, but for example, like Rhapsody, right? Like
she's not a new artist.
Right,
though.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just not, it's hard. Like I'm really not inspired or influenced to, yeah, maybe I go like party and those songs are playing and I'm not in my head, but like when it comes to like the artistry, no. So yeah, of course, like I'm diving deep. Like I need inspiration. Like I'm listening to Nas, I'm listening to J. Cole, I'm listening to, you know, Old Drake was like a really big like Take Care album. Like I've been like playing that a lot lately. A lot.
I revisited it about a month ago.
Underground Kings, like Own My Dead Body, like Look What You've Done, like those tracks. But yeah, I'm not really inspired by like the stuff I hear now, unfortunately. So
nah, we were just joking around earlier because me and Kimon was asking Nelson like what new albums he's been listening to. Like everyone we'll bring up, he'll say like he doesn't like or he didn't listen. So I'm like, damn, bro, like what new music do you like? What have you liked in a while? He was like, honestly, bro, it's been a minute.
And it's like, bro, I ask myself, I get in the car, first thing I do, I'm looking through my phone to find some music.
Yes, I'm always like,
and I'm like, do I want to listen to this one again? Like, I'm like,
does it get another shot? Or like,
and I'm just like, it's discouraging, but it's like, I don't think it's a creativity problem. I think like we talked about it on our last with K from Free Music Manager for a Free Music Party. I think it deals with a lot of the marketing and the pushing.
God.
Some people have more money to push their art than they have creativity. And that's, to me, that's an issue.
It's a huge issue because the thing is like they have more money to push their creativity, and then there's people that put money into them, and now all they want to do is make money. So all these like people, it went from being a viral sensation or a one-hit wonder to like making careers for these individuals because like it's a trend thing, like, right? It's like, who can make the best trendy thing that a 10-second video can get posted to, or you know what I mean, like a little clip, or like things of that nature are just so popular that it's like, and hip hop is the star of it. It just is. And it brings in all different types of talent. And, you know, I think that a lot of artists, like, not like they work hard to get where they are, but there's just, you know, a lack of some type of, I don't want to say like authenticity, but like almost.
It's
right?
like authenticity and originality. Like
originality. That's even a better word.
Yeah, because I
it's
feel
so repetitive.
Yeah, it's just like okay, I saw that. I can do that. I can say those words too in a little different.
And I would be lying if I said it's not tempting, or like sometimes I'm like, yo, I could make a song like talking about that, and I know, like I start, yo, come on,
Yo,
like,
and especially as a woman in like
right.
in hip hop, like
if I really wanted to, like, and I don't really want to come off like that, but I'm just saying, like,
I'll say it for you. What Ice Spice said, like, oh yeah, I make sure I dumb my bars down because like the people don't. What she said, the people don't really like catch the smart bars, and they don't listen.
Listens, yeah.
But it's like, AKA, I dumb down my lyrics because my listeners aren't that smart, so I say third grader nursery rhymes. I'm not saying, like, I think she does have bars, but you're playing down to feed the masses. Like,
it's the image.
That's not and
it's not even like, it's not the substance anymore. It's the image. It's like, you know, especially like, I think it's so super dope that females are getting a spotlight right now. But let's do something dope with it. Like, let's not all try and be the same and like rap about the same shit and like show off our bodies and talk about the same shit and talk about dudes and talk about, you know, what they couldn't do, like this, that, and the third. Like, we have a spotlight. Like, people want to talk about female rappers right now. Like, that is true. That's a very true thing. But like, let's be different. Like, you know what I mean?
Show
like, let's use the platform for more substance. And,
now, do you think? I think it's more so just a matter of like, the people who have the money aren't putting the spotlight on those type of like female artists.
That's kind of what I was trying to say earlier.
Because there's like, you got like the Tierra Wax, you got this is a girl named Wynn, like people who actually like make good music and like are good artists and have creativity, but they just aren't pushed like the city girls are, or like you said, the Ice Spice is.
Yeah. No, like, that's kind of what I think I was trying to say earlier. It's not even the artist's fault, but it's like the people that have the money and want to back it know what's gonna be trendy. So like, they're gonna push it.
I'm laughing because it was just like, I got a lot of messages from the post we clipped it, the clip we posted.
Hold on, what was they saying?
Oh, it was just like, I kind of see what he's saying, but I'm just like, bro, watch the full clip, please, because people were trying to say if I was getting cooked or not, and it was just like, bro.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, is like, as a female, like, I don't ever want to make it seem like I'm talking down on women at all. Like, I would never do, like, never such thing. Like I said, like, women have the spotlight right now, and as we should. I just wish that, you know, there was more support and more backing behind the other side of it. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like there's not as much representation for it.
Yeah, it just needs to be a balance. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that drew me to hip hop and just like gave me my appreciation for it. It was because I can get this and this, and it's
right.
fire.
You can, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It can coexist. Yeah. Like, one of the illest classes I ever took, like, in college was at UB, and I was there maybe for like a semester or two, and it was hip hop and social issues. It was white dude, Italian, from the city, and he was just discussing like the origins of hip hop and how it was able to talk about the music would be fire, and they would incorporate the social issues with it. And it was just like, back, like, now they try to make it seem like, oh, this is conscious rap and this is drill and da-da-da. And it was like, yo, there's a middle ground that can be worked here, but people that, well, I don't say people, I'll say corporations won't market that because they don't want to see that happen. Like
Hip hop is powerful. Yo.
for sure. And what was it? I'm trying to avoid certain words that for YouTube, but a good example was Lil Baby. Lil Baby and during COVID, you know, I forgot the name of the song.
Bigger Picture.
Bigger Picture.
Oh yeah.
Amazing song, but it was like that. He showed the definition of like you can balance the two.
Right.
Make a fire song that's about social issues. You could be a trap rapper, whatever you want to classify me as, but I'm also a human,
Right.
And that's what I feel like that human
Even
element.
like all my life, like
Mhm.
like that's the same type of thing, right? Like just reminding the world that like that's important.
hmm
Definitely is not enough of it. Like you said, like hip hop is so strong, so powerful, and it has that capacity to like make that difference. Like people are listening to our voices, so it's just like you said, like there can be that balance, but it's just like who's gonna show what, who's gonna back what, who's gonna push what.
Release the budget. Release the budget. You want to go top 5?
We go top 5. So we got a top 5 segment. It's one of our new segments for the season.
All right.
This week, what are your top 5? Because I feel like you take pride in like your lyricism and being a lyricist. Who are your top 5 favorite lyricists?
Lyricist.
Who you would consider a lyricist?
It ain't got to be best. It's like
Yeah, it's your
yours.
favorite.
Okay. Yeah. Like cause like for me, right, like lyrics impact a lot of like how I create. So, it's definitely like something that I value. This is hard. Cause like there's some people that like I like them as lyricists, but I don't listen to them. Does that make sense? Okay, cool.
Cold World.
Jermaine.
Like Kendrick. I really don't listen to Kendrick as much as I do other rappers, but lyricism, yeah, Kendrick. Maybe Jay-Z.
Jay-Z got
Maybe?
Jay-Z. Yeah.
Why maybe?
Well, no, I'm just thinking.
With Hov, I mean,
No, but like I'm just thinking my top 5. You gave me 5, so I'm like,
It's
yeah.
5. I can't give you 10. That's too easy.
I know. And then I gotta say Nas.
I mean,
I
street
was gonna
poet.
say him, so that's 4. I don't know.
There's no wrong answer.
I know, but like I'm indecisive. Yeah,
The fifth spot is always the toughest.
Yeah, for sure.
well, yeah, and when you say like lyricism, I think about it deeper than if you just said your like top 5 artists. This is hard. I don't know. Like for me, maybe Drake, because he's like of the impact he's had like on me in his lyrics. Yeah. So what did I say? Cole, Nas, Jay-Z,
Kendrick.
Drake. That sounds so basic, but that's
my
probably
much more. That's about much more.
It's not a bad 5.
like that does
greatest.
sound really basic, but like
It's valid. They're those
I mean,
people for a
Big
reason.
Sean really did influence me a lot though too. Like I really don't. People always ask me that, and I always forget. But like he impacted me probably more like than, you know, a Jay-Z or a Kendrick did when I first started. Realistically.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Of course, Nas is in mine.
Yeah,
Nas got to be in mine. I'm definitely throwing 3 Stacks in there.
Goody.
Gotta throw 3 Stacks in there.
Bless you.
Lyricists. And I also...
I'm hoping you don't say this one person just so I don't have the same list as you.
Real talk, I'm
Y'all
thinking...
gonna have the same list?
I want to say Busta Rhymes.
Yeah,
Busta
cool.
Rhymes.
And just on top of breath control, like being able to spit that, like that's crazy.
I went to a 50 Cent concert. He did that shit. He came out live. I was like, yeah.
Nah, fifth is him. Bust. I gotta throw my boy Ab-Soul in there. You know what I'm saying?
Respectable.
You know what I'm saying? Soul is definitely there. And that's hard to like limit it. I really want to pay respects.
Now
to
you got me thinking like, I just started thinking like Dreamville. Like, I like Boz. Like,
Man, yeah, I'm trying.
see if I would have got a little bit more time. You all should have went first.
Last one. I'll say I don't want to be corny.
You a
Mine was
corny
corny.
nigga.
Cap. I'll say Prodigy.
I like that.
I'll say
RIP.
Prodigy.
I go Cole, Lupe.
Oh,
I was hoping you didn't say
Damn.
Lupe. Lupe.
I got beef with Lupe. That's why I'm not thinking about him. He hurt my feelings.
Nas. Damn, I was hoping you didn't say 3 Stacks too. I want to think of something.
I gotta say 3 Stacks. It's a couple
The
people out there.
silence, everyone's
It's a
like,
couple. It's a couple because there's
This
a
is
couple
a-
people out there. I'm like,
This isn't gonna be an understandable one, but I feel like if you know, you know. Future.
lyricist,
If you
Yeah.
know, you know.
Because if you really listen to Future, you know he be
songwriter,
talking.
Toxic.
I'll give you lyricist.
Well, I can't say songwriters.
Yeah,
Because if we go on songwriters, I'm probably just go mad R&B. I'll just go Kendrick fifth spot
Yeah.
because I can't really.
easy up.
Joey badass
I thought
fifth spot.
definitely
Yep,
thought
I'm
about
switching.
Joey.
I was
but
gonna
it
put Jade in mine too, but I feel like it's a little too early.
Huh?
JID,
Oh, I thought you said Jada.
Jade.
That's what I thought he said too.
I thought you said Jada. I'm like, yo, no, Jada could definitely.
Yeah, he could
Yeah, that's
easily
what you
could've
also
been in.
me. Yeah, I started thinking.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
about it.
switch Kendrick out and put Joey.
That was
Right
4.
there.
Or no, that was 5.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. That's a good.
Joey, Cole,
Nas.
Nas,
Lupe.
Lupe,
I forgot
3
Lupe.
Stacks.
Yeah.
illest MC who to never drop an official solo project.
Yeah.
Arguably one of the best rappers of all time. Let's see.
Third Eye.
Yeah, let's jump into the Third Eye segment. So what I like to do with the Third Eye segment is kind of just like touch on, I don't like to say conspiracies, but like just a deeper insight to like topics that artists necessarily don't get to speak on, or just certain stuff that people may overlook. One of the things that the origin of hip hop, the one thing I learned was just like when I was at UB, we were talking about like how it comes from like the have-nots and stuff like that. Some of the first groups like Bambaataa and all of them, they used to go heavy with the like Afrocentric stuff. And they had a concept like about like the third eye. People will call it like, oh, the all-seeing eye, Illuminati,
Okay.
but it's really like an organ, like in your body. It's like the pineal gland. The pineal gland is literally has like retina tissue on it. Like it's the same tissue in your eyes, it's like in your brain. And they say like that's your connection to God, like seat of the soul. So have you ever heard the concept of the third eye, or what is your like, how does spirituality play in your approach to music, or just how you move in the industry?
Yeah, for sure. So like going back to when I first started really, pushing and representing myself within music, I wasn't as connected to, to God or anything if that, like when it came to my artistry. And like I said, the past year and a half, I've really been, finding myself as a woman, like a young woman, but also like just growing as an individual. And I got like really connected more with like God in general. And like, I had to go back to my why, right? Like for a little bit, I had a couple rough moments like a year ago with a lot of like questioning myself, where I'm at, why I'm doing it, my family, everything. And like, it wasn't even like I had to start thinking about why I started writing music. It was just like, why am I like where I am right now? Like sometimes you just got to take a step back. And I really did find peace, and I do now when it comes to creating too, like finding peace and, allowing my mind to feel safe with that, like, talking to God and like, thanking God for like where I am and just little things, right? And it's a lot more prevalent in my life now. I grew up, like my parents took me to church all the time. Like I was baptized and everything, but now like I'm not as connected to like the church, I would say. Like that's not, really something that I practice on my own, but like I do follow in like step, trusting that God is leading me in the right direction. And like we were talking about earlier, I'm in the room for a reason. I'm here for a reason. I'm all of these different things. And I really do, have to lean back on that. And it's easy. It's super easy to forget, right? That like, that why, like why I am here, and it's easy to, not acknowledge it and want to like disregard it. And when shit gets hard, like, forget about the times you were praying to be here. And it's like, you got to check yourself sometimes. And I think that's what, God does for me. And like, it also connects me to my grandpa, right? And like, down the line, like, God forbid, life is life and you never know what could happen tomorrow, right? And I just believe that's always going to be like my connection to the people and the things that I love the most. But like I said, like, for a while I would forget. Like I used to like be in my room dreaming about being in places even just like this, like on podcasts and stuff. And it's like not necessarily, just today in this scenario, but all the time. Like just sit back and remember, used to pray like to be in these.
Pray for times like
Like
this.
Pray for times like
I was trying not to say that.
I got you.
But yeah, nah. So that's kind of my connection. I have like been a lot closer, with my spirituality as of late. Like I said, I think as growing into, the young woman that I'm becoming and like as an artist and, just putting more of my faith in my craft and, my guidance as, just a girl, like.
It's necessary. It's super necessary, especially in the industry where like people you'll hear little weird stories about, this person's solar, or they're in some weird cult, whatever, and that's very prevalent in the music industry. And it's just like artists should absolutely be grounded,
Aware,
absolutely, like aware, grounded, and just really having that strong support
it's
system.
the other
and
thing, right?
knowing
like,
their why, like even you stating
Yeah,
that, like that's super important.
that like that's the other thing, like too much excitement can do, like we were talking about like what keeps your level head, right? Because if I didn't have like carry a chip on my shoulder, like I could have got myself in so many bad situations, like to this day, like things that would change my life forever. And it's like it's a sense of awareness, but it's more of like, who you want to be coming into this, like, and if you don't, go and figure it out before you come. Like that is one thing I learned. Like I'm young, right? And I'm where I am now at a young age, and I'm super blessed that like God has given me the talent and the prospects to be where I am. But like I left only in knowing who I wanted to be. Like, did I know like how to be the best version of me? No, but like I left knowing who I wanted to be, like coming into this music stuff and like not allowing like the outside evil penetrate that. And that would be like one thing that I would want to say to anybody getting started or anybody that's in the game, like, because that's how it happens, is like you don't know you because those things will manipulate you without you even knowing, because like your foundation isn't built. You build it on sand, or you built it with sticks instead of bricks. So when something comes your way or wind blows, that shit's gonna fall, and you might not even know it until So
you picking your ass up off the floor.
That's and ain't nobody there to help you.
No, that's a super fact. You see the same people on the way up as you do on the way down. Always be kind. Always make sure that ground is sturdy.
Right.
Make sure your relationship is sturdy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because then you can try and fail, right? Like that's like what I'm saying is I didn't have it figured out. I still don't have it figured out. But I believe like my foundation is laid and it's built and it's strong. And now I can try and fail. I can build a home and it might not work out, and I can tear it down and restart, but I'm not going to get uprooted, and who I am, my identity isn't going to be able to get manipulated, because I built that foundation, like I worked on that. And that took the foundation falling too, right? Like you have to fail to figure it out. You have to fail to grow.
Can't be successful without failure. That's the irony of it all.
But who's gonna learn from it and who's gonna, run from it? I might as well. I failed my proctored real estate exam twice. And you think I really want to go take that walk back in that classroom and take it again? Like, no, but it was like I had to face something in myself. Like, I spent a lot of time and energy. And that's just one example. Like, you put a lot of yourself into it and it's devastating. And it's like, you can either find the opportunity in this or let it take over and, find a new route. But finding opportunity in failure, and lessons in failure, and where you can grow and like those pain points, but you have to be able to look yourself in the mirror first, or else, you're never gonna figure it out. Can't hide from yourself. And I've hid from myself before, when you fail and you're just like, you'd rather not address it. You'd rather not address situations. So
it's all in the growth process, for sure. What's the name? I heard was your newest song was 99 Problems?
Yeah.
On your newer song, 99 Problems, you said, I'm a pretty girl, why wouldn't I have fun? Or something of that, or something that, or why wouldn't I enjoy myself?
Oh, yeah, pretty girl in my prime, I'ma have my fun.
Yeah. So
no, I like that song was like, I wrote that, that's another one like I wrote over a year ago and just dropped over the summer or like in the fall, but it was just like me trying to, showcase like that fun side of me, but like still keep it me, right? You know what I mean?
So how you fun? Like you dating, or are you focused?
Yeah, I got a man.
Okay. Shout outs. Shout out to her man in the back.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Pulls me down, yo. We got a similar mindset. That's how like we connected from the beginning. Like that's, it's the foundation, right? And it's definitely a part of it. Like I've dealt with so much, like I know, like I said, like I know I'm really young, but like I've experienced a lot of bullshit, and it helps you figure yourself out, but definitely like let things come to you. When it comes to like relationships, whether it's like my best piece of advice, whether it's a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a friend, family, like let that stuff come to you, because anything that's forced is not going to be what you want it to expect it to be. I know we've all been there. I don't want to speak for y'all, but you think you're ready for something, or like, you see something and it looks super attractive to you, and like, you're forcing something that isn't meant to be. You're not trusting God's timing. We keep coming back to this.
Divine timing is the theme of the show.
I wrote something down the other day, and it was like, just because you're at a red light or a stop sign doesn't mean your journey's over, right? Like, there's still a destination out there. Just because you take a wrong turn, like, that final destination is still there. But every stop sign you hit and every red light you hit, you were supposed to hit. Because if you run the red light, you know what I mean? You risk crashing.
Absolutely.
And
I was walking out the house. I spilled some water on my pants right on time so I could go back inside and change. I done missed the pile up on the 90. You know what I'm saying? Something simple as that.
My mom always says stuff like that to me. I get so mad. I'm like, sorry I'm late. Like, this person in front of me was driving this, that, and third, and she's like gotten really close with her faith ever since I left for school. Like, just like I'm like her best friend, and she's gotten super close with her faith. And like she's always like, that's just God. Like, you weren't supposed to be going that fast. Like, you weren't supposed to. And I was like, I could use you telling me that more often.
Right, nah, that's vital. That's super vital. And this is like as you continue to Jesus Christ. As you continue to achieve success in this industry, like you'll notice that little thing right there will take you far and exactly where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
For sure.
Important.
Is there anything else that you haven't talked about? Any upcoming shows or places?
Yeah, so a couple things. So my team and I are getting ready to go back on the road for our shows. So every winter, we try and hit like a couple different cities. Last year we did Buffalo, Olean, Pittsburgh. I think that was all last year. But every year we give back to a foundation in the city. Every year in June, we have our Juneteenth Jamboree. This year we raised money for a scholarship fund and gave it away to a student in Olean, which is super dope. But this year, all of our shows, all the donations are going to be going towards that scholarship fund for the Jamboree. So we got our Olean show in December. We're coming to Buffalo, Luna Lounge in January. So stay tuned for that. And then we're trying to hit Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Syracuse. We're trying to do this New York City. Like we're trying to expand. And then as far as me, like I said, I got a lot of stuff in the tuck, and my debut album is on the way.
Come on.
It's gonna be called How About This? Kind of just embodies, you know, like kind of as we talk about in this podcast, right? Like my whole life I've been steered in a lot of different directions, and I didn't always know if I was going the right way, but I had a lot of people telling me what they thought I should do and what they thought I should be doing and what I look good doing and what I look bad doing. So the album is How About This? How about this?
Go for it. Yeah, hell yeah.
But that is like, I've been waiting on an album for so long because I want it to be the one, like not the one, you know, don't have to be the one but that's important to me, right? Like artistry, lyricism, all that stuff is like super important to me. And as far as building a project, I want to build a project. I don't want to just throw an album out there. So that is hopefully like the top of next year, getting ready to roll that out, like just getting back in that creative space. I've had so many songs, like it's killing me not releasing, but I'm just trying to, you know, do it right and trust the process. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
It goes a long way. Like,
yeah.
Like trust.
Oh, also, one more thing is the Coming for Blood hoodies. If y'all ain't checked them out, make sure you check them out. I just released them for pre-order. By the time this drops, they'll probably just be out for like regular availability. But they're all based off like my music video I did for the Bills. Like I got a family friend to make a mock-up hoodie for me for the video, and everyone was like, oh my God, where'd you get the hoodie? Where'd you get it? So finally, 2 years later, I work with I'm Living B. Shout out to them. They helped me produce the hoodies, and then my guy Stemo out in Vegas, he helped produce the logo. So I just invested in these, and I'm trying to push them to the Bills Mafia. If the Bills could play better, it really helped my brand. It really helped me sell some more, so that would mean a lot to me. But yeah.
Yeah, I think if Josh Allen comes sit down with us, I think he'd be able to turn us around.
I think it'll rise his stock soon.
You know what I mean?
Where can they get the hoodies? You got a website for it? Link
Yeah,
in bio?
so right now, it's just out for pre-order. So it's just a form with a link in my bio. And then I'm going to place an order at the end of the month. And then by December, though, I should have a website up and you'll just be able to order them off there. Everything link in bio. I keep it all in one space so people can't get confused. But yeah.
Got you. People want to touch base with you, like tap into your music, tap into your socials. Which ones do you use the most? Yeah,
Instagram is big. I got to get back on TikTok, but I will soon enough once my content gets rolling again. But Instagram, ITZLEALE, it's LEALE, and then all music platforms, LEALE, and it's all caps. It's all caps.
I know.
People be forgetting. It's all caps.
I noticed that.
All caps. I had to do that when I first like chose to be LEALE because like there's some random producer in like Europe, and it was he doesn't say it like LEALE. It's not the Italian name, but it was like capital L, everything else lowercase. I was like, bet I'll just be all uppercase. It looks cooler that way anyway. So.
What's the meaning?
And then I was about to say that.
Yeah, LEALE. It stands for authenticity and truth in Italian. So Italian is like super deep on like my mom's side of my family. And when I was thinking about, you know, like my artist name, I could have really easily just picked like a nickname people have for me or something like that. But I wanted it to stand for something like bigger than myself. I wanted to, you know, what LEALE, like I didn't know it was going to be LEALE at the time, but like what I call myself, I wanted it to represent me. You know, not just be a name that people know me by because my music is blowing up or whatever, but, you know, LEALE can stand for you know, whoever. And for me, it was more or less about, like, being a loyal person and an authentic person. Like, yeah, of course, those are attributes I want to carry and attain and hold myself to, but it was more about, like, being loyal to myself. Because I knew when I was taking that jump to be a hip-hop artist for real, like, I knew that there was going to be a lot of stuff thrown at me. So I was, like, I took, like, that vow to be loyal to my authentic self. Like, that's what LEALE stands for.
No, rightfully so.
That's tough. You didn't think Lil Haley would fit?
Yo, literally.
Lil Haley?
Nah, like, Lil Hay, everyone's like, Lil Hay.
Or something.
People were throwing crazy, yeah. Oh, also, if you need a house listed or you're looking to buy a home, your girl's got your back. So, hit me up.
Absolutely. We appreciate having you.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for having me. I got some hoodies for y'all.
Hey,
right over here.
Appreciate those.
Thought I had to pull up with a little
Hold
package
them up.
for you
It's your
guys.
camera right here. Hold it up.
Yeah. We gonna have to get a shot afterwards, but You know, we got the premium packaging with the custom letter, you know, hand signed by your girl. But yeah.
Absolutely. Much appreciate that.
Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
of course. You're welcome.
No
Thanks for
label
having
the
me,
pod,
guys.
of course. No label the pod, we out.
Peace.